Welcome back to our course on FinTech security and regulation. In our last session, we talked about regulation and how too much regulation can be harmful to innovation and can create inefficiencies, but too little regulation can be harmful to individuals and to society. Similarly, too much security can be harmful. Too little security can be harmful. So the question becomes, how much security is optimal? How much do we need? We're going to talk about three areas of security, or three types of examples to illustrate too much and too little related to security. Accounting and security related to accounting and financial reporting, consumer protection, and back-end system security. Now, let's look at accounting first. Now, I like this area of example because my mother worked in accounting systems design, was a large database manager for IBM and worked on accounting systems and software. And her perspective of accounting systems is you should keep the users out of them. You should only let senior accountants get in and touch things, and you need to really make the information very secure, because otherwise your financial accounting information might be somehow harmed. And the data should be sacrosanct, is sacred and protected very well. But my view, from a different context as an MBA and management consulting, is that data is a wealth of information that I want to be able to use. I want to use it as managerial accounting information, and I want to be able to get access to that financial data, the financial accounting data, to be able to use it for making better management decisions. And so too much security in your accounting data means it's not useful. I can't use it to help the firm. Too little security means it's also not useful, or we can't trust it. And so the question becomes, how much security is appropriate? We need to be able to modify, adapt, the data where it needs to be updated or to change it so that it's more useful in context, to be able to look at it from a managerial point of view, but also still be able to rely on it, so that we can trust that the financial reporting statistics, as stated, accurately reflect the health and status of the firm, as well as accounting data can from a financial accounting perspective. So too much security can actually harm the usability and usefulness of your accounting data. It makes it hard to use, and it makes it a nicely protected asset. But too little security means that we can't have confidence in it, and we don't know. A system that merges high security and the potential for high usability is something like an ERP system, an enterprise requirement planning system like SAP, which gives you a lot of access to information, but some very tight controls. That's kind of nice. But the problem with SAP is it's expensive to do, it's hard to do, it's time consuming, it's challenging to get it right, it's tough to automate. And that's an issue generally. If we're going to make things both secure and usable, there may come with a high cost to do both together. Now let's talk about a very different kind of security now. We're going to talk about consumers and protecting consumers. As a consumer, I don't want my bank account hacked. I don't want my personal information hacked. I don't want Facebook to share too much stuff about me. And so, I care about consumer privacy and protection of my information and my money. But I also don't want to have a 16-digit password of random numbers and letters and symbols that I would have to memorize, because that's just annoying. That's going to really tick me off. And so I want some protection. I have sort of learned to tolerate two-factor authentication, but I would really like it to be convenient. Make it something that's not too obtrusive. Okay, let the phone look at my face, that's fine, and I'll wink or do other things, but don't make it awkward or hard. Too much security is annoying. is frustrating. Let me give you an example of too much security in FinTech. That's an old tech example, but it might make the point and make you understand where too much security can be a problem. In early financial systems of technology and finance, Paul Volcker said one of the greatest FinTech applications or applications of technology to finance was the introduction of the ATM. That's really old tech. Okay, so forgive me for a moment, but let me talk about history and the ATMs. Is one of the banks in the US thought ATMs, cool technology, let's roll it out. And they deployed it and they found out it was a disaster in the market. Consumers hated it, but it wasn't the ATM that was at fault. It was their security. Now, what did they do for security? Well, they did a couple of things to make you more secure. They said, if you enter your PIN wrong, we'll take your card. So if somebody's trying to commit fraud, we'll allow one mistake. And after that mistake, well, actually, we won't allow any mistakes. You make a mistake, we'll take your card. You can come into the branch the next day and get your card back after you show your ID. And you're thinking, you got to be kidding me. You're going to take my card because I made a mistake. I needed cash. I put it in the ATM. I entered something a little bit wrong. Seriously? Now my card is gone? Well, that's bad. But they also had a longer PIN, not a 4-digit PIN, but a longer PIN. So the chances of error go up. With the more digits you have, the more likely it is you'll enter something wrong. And this particular bank was rolling it out in Florida. Now, Florida is a nice state in many ways. They don't have a lot of snow, and they've got some pretty good weather and nice beaches. They've got a lot of senior citizens. Many of these senior citizens are not the highest tech, most fluent with new apps or change. And so you're saying to a consumer who's used to the savings passbook, the really traditional old technology, we're now going to replace your savings account with your physical passbook with this plastic card. And we'll send you a statement every month. Already the consumer's saying, I don't know about this. But trust us, it'll be fine. And this plastic card now represents your life savings. Okay, I am not sure about that. Now the senior citizen goes up to the ATM, puts the plastic card in, and they're nervous because it's new tech and you're shaking and you put in the numbers and you push a number wrong and boom, now your life savings are gone. The bank just robbed you. That can cause a heart attack. I mean, this is not friendly tech. This is very secure, but it's very, very unfriendly. And so customers hated this technology. Now, we can't do that in FinTech. You cannot make security obtrusive to the point of ticking off customers. And unfortunately, banks sometimes do that.